So good morning everyone. Welcome to my bed. Now today I'm gonna take you to my routine. And well, basically the first thing that I do is, as you have seen, make a ginger tea. And I get myself some fruit. It's nice to wake up like that. It also always brings me energy, especially if the first thing that I really take is just orange. Some people start with water, which is also fine, but I don't know. I find starting off with an orange or with some fruit is very effective for me. As I need to be active in the morning. As you can already notice, like after I wake up, few minutes after that, I'm always already pretty awake. Yeah. Make myself some breakfast. It's gonna be egg with some tomato and some feta. I'm trying to stay away from too much carb. And that combination again, some vegetables and a tomato and some protein. So I'm gonna be good for going to the gym, because that's gonna be the next thing, or the first thing basically in the morning that I really do after waking up. Yeah, of course I brush my teeth and see it, but yeah, the real thing is getting to the gym, and it's gonna be at 5 this morning. I really like the fact that I have the option in Malta to go that early. I don't know. Waking up this early, it feels like everyone is still asleep. Like in the morning, I know that my cortisol level is sometimes pretty high. It really depends. Some days I wake up and I really don't like myself. That's the cortisol levels. I'm just stressed out then. But I must say, this morning I'm pretty motivated. I've taken good care of myself the last few days. So yeah, I'm feeling all good. But my routine helps a lot, and I'm gonna take you with me in that. So let's go. So yeah, as living with an anxiety disorder, on some days it can be hard, on some days it can be really annoying, but on some days it also just goes. And gladly today is such a day, otherwise I wouldn't even be making this video. Now, on some days, when I wake up, I'm either just really anxious or just stressed out, and that's due to my cortisol level. I know that I have certain ways to really deal with that, but yeah, of course, some days you slack a little. Some days it's just I cannot choose for it, which is annoying, but I learned to live with that. Um, I know that if I slack on my diet or on my sleep, for example, I'm just gonna be annoyed a few days later. So that's something that I really have to take care of. And yeah, also since I got the hang of my dopamine more and more, there is the biggest advantage, at least for me, to have the reward system for myself under control. If I, for example, in the evening, if I still do too much, if I'm too triggered in my dopamine, then it gives me so much energy that I don't sleep well, which is pretty annoying, because I know, like, yeah, I could go 1 day or 2 days, I could even go with 3 or 4 hours of sleep, even longer than that, but I rather don't, because I know if I do that, then the next morning I wake up and then I'm just annoyed with myself. My anxiety kicks in way easier. So those are things that I really just have to take care of, and which I do by having the routine that I'm following now for the last 2 months. I have myself some nice breakfast, because I'm pretty hungry. So yeah, I also eat here. It doesn't look too pretty, so I'm not gonna show it, but it's damn tasty. And then after the eating, I pack my bag, and then I just go to train. So yeah, it's quite a chilled morning, really. I always wake up at least an hour before I get out of the house, because then I still have time to really take everything chilled and etc. I don't like waking up like, I don't know, 30 minutes or 15 minutes before I have to go. I still have to eat. I still wanna hang out with myself a little bit, get my mind together. Sometimes I also write, depending on. Sometimes I go later to the gym, and then I start writing. But most of the time I have like a notebook around. I write some things down. Either if it's for videos or since I'm trading. I also try to write some stuff down there as well. See what my goals are for the day, and chilled morning, pretty much. And that's what makes me feel the most comfortable. If I wake up later and it's already sunny outside, I most of the times also just go for a walk outside. The sea is pretty nearby here. Get some sun in my face, really wake up. So either the gym is gonna wake me up or some sunlight is gonna wake me up. But yeah, bon appetit. So yeah, I know that for some people, waking up so early can really be a curse. But somehow I just love it. There's no one here really. Everything is still empty, quiet. And I feel like I'm the only one walking around here. Which is pretty much the case, to be honest. But yeah, it's a nice morning ritual. But yeah, it's quite frisky, to be honest. I think it's like 10 degrees or something. And compared to when I was in Berlin, man, I'm walking around in a sweater in January. So that's it's pretty nice, and I cannot complain. It takes me around 10-15 minutes to walk to the gym, but I have everything here in this neighborhood in Slima, where I'm living. I got my work here, gym, well, basically everything that I need. The sea at 2 minutes away. Yeah, it's a bit different than what I was used to in the past few years. And I can really, if I would ever move to a city again, I would definitely make sure if I have to go to work every day, I don't want to travel, well, 1 hour or 2 hours to work anymore. That's something that I really got to appreciate. Normally I train around 1 hour, 1.5 hours, mostly weights. I am currently in bulking mode, or at least getting my weight up, and then from February on I still walk like now, or walk. I still run every week, once or twice, but from February on I'm gonna increase that. Currently I needed to get my weight up, so yeah, I'm gonna train now. I will put in a nice shot about the sketchy entrance of my gym that's underground, but I'll see you guys again at home. That was a good training, but oh man, I love to train in the morning. It helps me out so much. So yeah, the rest of my day, if I go to work, then I just go to work, of course, and I will drink 1 coffee there, and then I just do my thing. What I mostly like at work is like I can eat at my desk, which is for me really great. Somehow I have this weird thing already since I was young, because I thought I was too skinny, and that I always feel a bit pressured when I'm eating, so I always like to either eat with people or that I have some distraction. If I am not at work, which is today the case, then I have some things that I always do, which is of course making these videos. I write for that, I prepare for it as well. Not that my setup is currently like quite wow. I still have to work on that a little bit, but I also trade. I trade mostly Euro USD, but also here and there some Bitcoin. I don't like to trade crypto markets too much these days because it's quite the liquidity isn't there. It's quite random what happens from day to day. But I followed some stuff from Steve Mauro. He's basically the guy. He's a trader from the US, but he's really great with how he explains it. What I would say, however, is if you have trouble with your anxiety and also you don't want to get your dopamine triggered, you need to make sure that you're really disciplined. Otherwise, it's just going to be really stressful and it's not going to be enjoyable because it definitely is able to trigger some emotions. I might go here and there for a walk if I need to. Once the sun is out, I will definitely get on my balcony for like 15 minutes to get some sunlight in my face again. That helps a lot. But then in the evening, I again really go to a routine. And that mostly has to do with like social media, but also just any external factors, as I as well stay away from that in the morning. I don't want to be triggered by anything. Yes, I like entertainment from time to time, don't get me wrong. Hey, hell, I'm making YouTube videos. But what I've noticed over the time is, especially in the time that we are currently living in, there are so many issues and there are so many crises. And yeah, to a certain extent, that is of course true. To a certain extent, I also don't want it to be part of my life too much. I don't want it to be that it makes me anxious. I still care about people, I still care about humanity. Hey, I would always say like I'm a humanist from that perspective. So yeah, everything that sort of goes against that is a trigger for me. So 1 hour, 1.5 hour before I go to bed, I literally close anything. And also during the day, if I'm working, for example, I put my phone away. I don't think I need it. If there's really something urgent, well, I will call that person later on. But I want to be focused and I don't want to be distracted. And that's the same in the evening. I find this really important. Also, with of course, it's easy to get triggered, especially by the phone. All the colors, all the shorts, the. I don't do TikTok. I don't like that format too much because it's just like very short content. People always wonder why they can't focus on things or why they are not able to watch movies anymore straight on. And it has a lot to do with like short format dopamine triggers. If you're getting like every 15 seconds something happens, something needs to happen, you expect it, your brain expects that. And of course you're not gonna enjoy a 3 hour documentary or a 3 hour movie anymore. So for me, that content, I try to stay away from it. Yes, I try to upload here and there a short, but not too much, and I'm not really too happy with it for my kind of content and also what I want to bring to the people. I rather make a longer term video as I do now. But yeah, in the evening, I put everything off and then I either read or I still write a little bit. Especially in the evening, what I really notice is that I am not really too structured that I'm gonna plan weeks ahead in what kind of videos I'm gonna make. Something needs to be on my head, something needs to trigger me in a way that I'm thinking like, hey, maybe this is something nice to make, or maybe I should talk about this. I don't want to force myself talking about things because then I notice as well if I'm going to do that, either I'm not going to be able on the day itself, if I worked days before that, to bring over the message that I want to talk about, or I'm just going to be weird and I don't want to do that. It's also for me this new kind of way of making videos. I'm trying to figure things out. I want to become better at it. I want to become more natural. If I see some old videos of mine, I see that I'm trying to force it in one way or another. And I don't want to do that. I want to show my true self, which is of course more enjoyable for, hopefully for you to watch. But it's also more enjoyable for me to then make content. And literally like 15 minutes before sleeping, I just wind down. I just lay in my bed, and sometimes if I'm really still noticing that my brain is quite active, then I put on some meditation music. But normally that's not the case, not these days anymore. Um, I will always drink at least like two of those ginger, well, should you call it tea? It's just ginger without water. Let's call it ginger water. But that really calms me down, also the warm effect that it gives you. It boosts the testosterone, that's really nice for training. And yeah, and then in the evening I just go nap. I just go sleep. Normally I'm sleeping around 7 hours, sometimes 6. I'm never really able to do 8. Only on like a day off that I'm also off from training. Then what normally happens, if I sleep 6 hours or something, then I wake up for like an hour, and then I'm gonna sleep for maybe another 2 hours or something. But that's really the max. Yeah, for me, really sleeping longer than that is hard, or not even possible. Maybe if I go out clubbing, which I'm currently not doing, but then I could sleep hours and hours. To conclude, basically, in the morning I wake up with orange, ginger, have some breakfast, take it easy, wake up on time, get my stuff ready. I already prepare my stuff for the what to wear and etc. the evening before. I don't know, it sounds like such childish things that I forgotten about for years, but it somehow just helps me with like structure and stuff. That I don't have to think about it, and that I just don't go randomly through life. Then during the afternoon, it depends on what I'm doing, either working or if I'm home. When I'm home, I try to eat on times, set times, try to eat enough, especially since I'm training, that's quite important. And then in the evening, wind down, take the time for that as well, so that I calmly go to bed, and so that I hopefully wake up calmly as well. So those are basically my things that I take into account. I'm quite curious, do you have some tips maybe, or do you do things differently? Always curious to learn new things and etc. But yeah, this is basically my anti-anxiety dopamine routine. I'm happy to share it with you. Maybe there's something in there that you would like to try out as well. Please let me know in the comments. And then for me, it's definitely time to go sleep. And tomorrow is another day. So yeah, then there is nothing else from my side to say than big hug, much love, and then I see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.